why did I get a 16-inch Intel MacBook Pro in September 2021 and not wait for the M1 machines later in the year? Here's why. So my previous machine was a late 2016 MacBook Pro with the i7 2.9 gigahertz processor quad core with 16 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes of hard drive space, and the base graphics card. And that machine worked really well until mid-2018 when I started to hear some pops just close to the display on the right-hand side of the speaker grill. And the pops got louder over the ensuing months until kind of November that year. I took it into Apple. In this case, it was the MyMac reseller, and they were able to fix it, and it was to do with the battery swelling. So thank God I got that in before it got any worse. So then the computer worked really well, but it started to slow in really early this year, I think. And then I started to hear pops around kind of February, March this year. And I let it be, and then mid-August I heard a couple of really bad, loud pops, and I thought, I just can't keep using this machine. So I decided to get a new machine. Because of the circumstances, I would have definitely got a new M1 Max machine when they came out a couple of weeks ago, but obviously because of all that, I had to get a new one. And it was time, and the previous machine wasn't working as well as it should. So, so because I was in lockdown still at that time in Melbourne, I couldn't take that computer in to be fixed. So I called Apple to lodge a repair, and they had to deal with a company called Unisys. And then it took about 5 weeks for someone to come and look at the computer. And I just thought, I just can't afford to wait and not be in a creative frame of mind during all these crazy times. So I got the i9 2019 8-core 16-inch MacBook Pro with the base graphics card again, 64 gigs of RAM, and 4 terabytes of hard drive space this time around. Just because I want to have everything in the box, and because I moved between studio spaces from my parents' place down the peninsula, which is where I am at the moment, to my apartment, and I just wanted to keep it really super simple. And so eventually I got that previous computer fixed, and it's now currently on eBay for sale. But I must say, I mean, despite this machine not being as crazy powerful as the new machines that have just come out, and I've heard some pretty amazing benchmarks, and I've seen some great videos with stress tests and video editing tests and Logic Pro tests and things, and it's pretty incredible. But this machine's not too bad at all. I've done some pretty heavy sessions where normally on my previous machine I could probably get about 50% out of all the CPU meters in Logic with the 4 cores on the chip and also the 4 virtual cores in Logic. I can probably get about 25% on all 16 cores, that is all the 8 cores on the Intel chip plus the extra 8 virtual cores, and I still have a ton of headroom to push it even further than this. But it's a really great machine. Now, obviously the screen real estate is fantastic. Obviously it's not as bezel-less as the new machines are with the notch at the top, but I still get a really great amount of real estate if I set it at its highest resolution. You know, 64 gigs might be a bit overkill for a lot of people, but I think for me, like, you know, just being able to future-proof this system for 4 years or more is fantastic. And I think what's important here is as long as Apple still supports these machines for another, you know, 4 or 5 years, and takes a while to for it to be at the point where Logic will only work on silicon machines. This is still a great machine, and you can still, like, if you're really cash strapped and you can't afford to get the latest and greatest machines, I'm sure you'd be able to find very similarly spec'd machines on eBay and Amazon or Facebook or wherever you look for computers. And this would serve you really nicely for Logic or for Pro Tools or for whatever high demand music production you need it for. So I would love to get some comments from you guys, and also, like, whether you guys were in the same predicament as myself, and whether you bought a 16-inch machine before the new M1 machines came out. Excuse me. And I'd love to get some likes on my video if you enjoyed it. This is David Cooney Smith signing off.